Good morning, Annalise. Well, Sunday marked 1 year since this government took office, and this was the chance for Prime Minister Conte to make an assessment on the government experience so far. We know that he said he had some very significant announcements to make, and he did. He spoke for about half hour. He put the question straight to the two political allies, and he asked them to answer as quickly as possible. We heard from Salvini. He said, "I want to be part of this government," and we heard as well from Di Maio, who said, "I'm happy to cooperate provided that my ministers are not attacked." Now, we know the tensions have been there, especially in the weeks before the European elections. As we know, this was a very competitive electoral campaign. The leader of the M5 Star, Luigi Di Maio, was reconfirmed as the head of the movement. Salvini reacted to that positively. But despite that, despite the truce, tensions are still there. And if we look at the Prime Minister Conte, what he said, well, the fact that he decided to address the matter in a press conference without going and meeting them behind closed doors, that is an indicator of how serious this crisis is, and the fact that he decided perhaps to choose the most efficient way. Prime Minister Conte wants to stop acting as a sort of mediator between two sides that are constantly fighting. He wants the coalition to accept EU budget rules and avoid sanctions, Annalise.
Now, Giorgia, the major issue on the horizon here is the Italian budget. The EU is actually set to decide tomorrow whether it will trigger a procedure that could result in a huge fine for Italy over their deficit. Now, how likely is the governing coalition to actually find common ground?
Well, that's right. The big problem is that letter that the European Commission sent to Italy last week. We know that the European Commission is seeking an explanation as to why Italy's public debt has increased in 2018 instead of falling. Italy is risking some sanctions. Finance Minister Tria has already sent an official response back to Brussels. We're waiting to hear from them tomorrow. That wasn't an easy task for Tria, as it was under a lot of pressure by the two sides. Both political parties wanted to make sure their electoral promises are part of the political agenda. But if we go back to what Prime Minister Conte said, we know that he's not alone in doing that. President Mattarella has been supporting him. He gave him a clear mandate to be the one in charge of negotiations with Brussels. The question, though, is whether the two coalition partners do recognize that role for Conte, or whether they keep campaigning as Conte warned in that speech yesterday, Annalise.